Hey guys, it's Star the Flippin' Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Flippin' Hippos. Today I want to share our mini haul with you that we got over the weekend. We didn't get very much as far as yard sales go. They were calling for rain all weekend, and when we got up in the morning on Saturday, it's like around 6:45, 7, it was raining, but by 8 o'clock it stopped, so we decided we were going to try our luck. We found a local community sale that was real close to us, about like a 5-10 minute drive in a neighborhood. And on the Yard Sale Treasure Map app, it proclaimed that 50 houses were participating, and you could stop at either the school or the VFW and pick up a map. Restrooms were provided. It just seemed like, well, if we're going to get rained out, well, at least we'll be close to home, and if we don't, this is going to be a place where we can hit 50 yard sales on 3 streets. So we decided to go down there, and we worked our way through the community following the map, and we would park, walk a little bit, park, walk a little bit. Some of them you had like 10 houses like right here in a chunk that were doing it, and sometimes we had to drive for a while. We got through most of it before the rain finally came. We were down to like the last half of the last street we hadn't been on, and it started to pour down rain. So we called it a day. We drove to our local honeypot thrift, got all the way out of the car in the rain with our umbrella, and walked to the door, and there's a sign on the door that said they will be closed until Monday the 25th. Sorry for the inconvenience. This isn't the first time that we've gone to our local honeypot thrift and it was closed with a sign on the window. Longtime viewers will remember it was closed all of May for renovations. It's a real small local thrift. They don't have a lot of employees, and I think that just sometimes they have to close without forewarning, and that's okay. I'm not going to hold it against them, because when they're open on Saturdays, I get to load my cart with like $100 worth of stuff, which equates to 100 items, because they have 99-cent day. So Saturday was kind of a wash. Pardon the pun, because it was raining. I'm so funny, me and my dad jokes. It was a wash. So we came home early on Saturday. We had a nice lunch with the kids, and we got a lot of extra work done, and we were done by dinner. So we took the evening off because we got all that extra work done. We took the evening off after supper, and we played some video games and some board games with the kids. It was a nice night. It was a nice break. And then Saturday, we actually decided not to go to the Goodwills. Part of what I did on Saturday during my extra work was I had Keith and the boys carry everything that we've been sourcing, except what I wanted in this haul video, upstairs to the serial killer room. For those of you that are new to the channel, it's not as nefarious as it sounds. It's just a scary room upstairs in our Victorian house. We have a lot of scary rooms and hallways here. But I had them carry everything up, and we sorted everything into laundry pile, what's already been washed, by like jeans, women's shorts, men's shirts. You guys get the drift. Everything was organized out onto our clothing table, and all the hard goods were piled up and organized. And I looked at it and I thought, you know what? We are actually growing a death pile. I had a video a while ago, and I'll link it down below, so you guys can watch it if you're curious about death piles. Keith and I actually like to keep 2 to 3 times the amount of what we can list in a week around, especially in the fall and winter, because we live in a place where you can get snowed in and roads can get icy. Y'all, we have more than that. Like, I looked around and I thought, holy bananas, Batman, we actually have like a real life death pile. For real. It's not even just having extra stuff. We've just been getting, we've been lucking out so much at the yard sales and getting so much hard goods and so many great things from the yard sales. And last weekend we hit that Goodwill where we just loaded up on the new Tags clothing and the booty shorts and all that. We just have so much stuff up there. And since right now is the summer slowdown for clothing, and we have all these hard goods and things to list, we kind of made the executive decision that, hey, we'll stay home from the Goodwills on Sunday and again have another day of extra work and just doing things, getting caught up on stuff that you normally don't think about doing. Like we organized all the inventory Saturday. Just little things that you never think about doing until you have extra time. We got a lot of that done. We got a lot of extra listing done on eBay. A lot of extra cross-posting to Posh and Macari. I got a lot of bunch. That's perfect grammar. I got a lot of extra photographs taken, so they're on my computer. I can list extra this week when I have time. So it was a very productive weekend overall. And Saturday was a wash for the yard sales. We chose, there's a very loud truck coming. We chose, excuse you, I am trying to talk. We chose not to go to the Goodwills, so we're just going to work from our death pile this week, and come Saturday, we'll go to come Saturday, we will go to the yard sales, absolutely. I don't care if I have a death pile the size of my house. I live in a place where yard sales only happen for 3 months of the year, and the rest of the year we're freezing. So if yard sales are available, I don't care how big my death pile is, I will never pass them up. Ever, because you never know what you're going to find, and you can cherry pick if you have a lot of inventory at home and just get the best stuff. So we will be going to the yard sale Saturday, but again, we're going to take like stock of what we have after listing all week, and we might be skipping the Goodwills 2 weeks in a row. We don't really need a lot of clothing right now. Clothing is slow. I have enough upstairs to keep me busy, and I really want to focus on the stuff that you find at yard sales. So that long story aside, I'm going to show you guys the mini haul we got. And hopefully I'm going to have enough time at the end, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, to tell you a tiny little story about a mean old lady at the yard sales who chased me down the sidewalk. Alright, so, and actually, you know what, I'll tell you that when I get to it. Let's just follow my normal train of thought, my first train of thought. So we got this mini Apple speaker, and we kind of like took a chance on it. They had $2 on it. I offered $1. She was pretty sold on the fact that she wanted $2 for it. We're kind of wondering if this is going to turn out to be one of those cheapos that you can get at like Five and Below or a dollar store. But we decided to take the gamble for just $2. Worst case scenario, actually the speakers on my laptop are pretty much blown out at this point and don't really work, and I'm not in the market for a new laptop yet. My Alienware works fine. I use it for gaming, so I might like actually see if this is compatible to the computer. I don't know, we'll see. It was a gamble for $2, but for $2, I mean, at least we'll make our money back, worst case, right? This was also $2. And inside, now I know these are going to be long tail, they're going to be really, really slow. They're probably going to sit around until Christmas, but they came in there. Now, it's not like the best looking. It's got like a tape stain. Does tape leave stains? A tape stain. It has a tape stain. It's ugly, it's gross. I don't even know if I'll ship in its original styrofoam just because it's so like beat up and raunchy. But if I do, it's made for these. It'll contain them better. If not, we'll figure out a way to ship these safely. So the back of these say apparently nothing, because I can't. My light is like right there. It says Black Knights. And the top is a little pewter wolf. And the front of this one is the profile of a wolf face and then a tinier wolf on the bottom. These are Christmas tree ornaments. And there were 2 of them in here. And I'm like, for $2, if I sell these as a set, I'm probably going to be asking 40 to 50 bucks. I'll have to check the comps. Hopefully there aren't a bunch of turds that race to the bottom on these. I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised and ask for more than that, but we'll see. People love to race to the bottom and ruin the market. It's all about that fast nickel for some folks. I'm all about the slow dime, just in case you're wondering. And if you are one of the people about that like the fast nickel and I just called you a turd, I apologize. It's just sometimes I get really, really frustrated when the price of things get driven down so far because everybody's racing to the bottom to get their fast nickels. I get frustrated and I call those people turds. If you are one of those turds, my apologies. You're not a turd. If you're watching my channel, you're not a turd. Let's put it that way. This one has the pewter wolf at the top too. And then it has another wolf, kind of a profile. He's more facing, and then like 2 small ones at the bottom. It's a real pretty blue and white marble. I wish my light was set up differently today. I am such an amateur. It's amateur hour on Flippin' Hippos. Come watch Star not know how to set up her lights. Which made me just double check that my mic is on. Y'all, if I actually told you how many videos I've ever made where I found out later that I had the sound off the whole time. I now have a big post-it note on my microphone that says, "Turn me on!" It's amateur hour, I'm telling you. Alright, I paid $2 for this as well. Actually, I should say Keith did, because Keith found this. And he was very excited because it came with the original box. As far as Disney coffee mugs go, they are slow. They're very slow. They're very long tail. But I have always gotten 20, 25, or 30, depending on the mug, with them paying shipping. And that was always with just a mug. The reason this one's is so exciting, it had its original box. It has the original inserts that came with it. It's not just a coffee mug, it is also a warmer. But here's the best part. Y'all, it's in its original plastic packaging. This is like that Sony radio we found. You open the box and it's never been used. And it has all of its original styrofoam cardboard packaging inside the box, which will keep the mug and its warmer safe in transit once it does sell. The mug itself is so super cute. It's got Minnie Mouse on this side, like looking away from the camera. The camera, like a cartoon does a photo shoot. I might still be a little wonky from all my sleep deprivation last weekend. And here she is facing the camera, I guess. And I'm actually going to go fix my light because it's driving me nuts. Stay right here, don't go anywhere. Hi guys, I'm back. Or no time passed, thanks to the magic of editing. It's not that much better, but you can see her a little bit better, right? So it is a really super cute mug. It has a warmer. The warmer's still in its original plastic. And it comes with this original box. So for $2, like, I can't get it back in the box, just in case you guys didn't notice that. Let me just point out all of my flaws and faults today. I can't talk. So, oh, would you look at that? Inside of the cup, it says Minnie Mouse. I didn't even realize that. I can't get this back in here the way it's supposed to be, so we'll just set that aside for Keith. And at the same place where we found the Minnie Mouse cup and warmer, or mug and warmer, I found this book. Now, chances are I am probably going to be very disappointed, and it's not going to be worth anything, but it was $0.25. So, it was in a box marked 25 cents. It says, "Just can't get enough toys, games, and other stuff from the 80s that rocked." And on the front, you can see He-Man, a Care Bear, Rainbow Bright, These are not stickers that are stuck on the book. This is part of the cover design. The back has a transformer and strawberry shortcake. And those of you that are, you know, old like me will remember in the 80s we all had trapper keepers, and this is supposed to resemble a trapper keeper in how the book opens. And we all had these scratch and sniff stickers, right, that we decorated our trapper keepers with. And so I just thought it was so cool. You open it up, it looks like the notebooks that we used to doodle in. It's table of contents is so cool. It tells you the page stuff is on, but instead of just a list of type, it actually has like the brand names written out, how they are on their products. Like, look at that Cabbage Patch Kids right there and the Care Bears. And take note, there is hungry hippos. So if you go through the book, we'll go to hungry hippos. They talk about the products. What page was Hippos on? 40? Because I know how to count. I'm like way back in 70. It's because I'm trying to talk at the same time. So what it does, and there's like these things throughout the book too, where it looks like it's been written on, but it hasn't been written on. That's like part of the book. It's supposed to look, I guess, throughout, like our old notebooks and stuff. So the Hungry Hippos, they give you a little intro and a picture of it. Still looks like a notebook with scribbles and drawings and graffiti up here. And it just tells you a little bit about the product. Here's... Oh, guys, do you remember these Mad Balls? Okay, I might have to keep this for myself. Do you guys remember these? The scary stories to tell in the dark, you guys. I didn't flip through this well enough though at the sale because I may have to keep this. This is so cool. Oh my. Okay, sorry, I grew up in the 80s and 90s and this stuff is great for me. A great trip down memory lane. So I guess I'll comp it, and if it's not that great, I'll keep it for myself. And if it is great, I'll go ahead and list it. And books are usually really slow, long tail. I can peruse through it while I wait for it to sell. No one says you can't do that. Okay, and only one other thing. Like I said, we didn't get a lot. I'm going to show you this set of 4 mugs, and then I'm going to tell you how much I paid for them. This is Boba Fett. He is the assassin bounty hunter from Star Wars. There's Han Solo. These are made by Gallery, which is a name you'll see on a lot of coffee mugs with popular characters and pop culture on them. There's Darth Vader on this one with Luke on the back, Skywalker, and I have one more of each with Darth Vader and the Luke and Boba Fett and Han Solo. So my plan is to have 2 sets of 2 with 1 listing. So these are in really good shape. I don't see as of now any damage or flaws on any of these, so I'm safe to say I can photograph these 2 and list that I have 2 sets of 2 available. 1 listing, 4 mugs. You get more when you have more, especially from collectors. I got all 4 for $1. Yeah. So I asked the guy, I'm like, how much do you want for your Star Wars mugs? And he's like, oh, $1. And I kind of was thinking about it. And he's like, oh, you know I mean for all 4, right? I was like, no, I thought you meant per mug. And that's why I was thinking. He's like, oh, no, I just want rid of it. Rid of them. He said, you can have all 4 for $1. So that was cool. So yesterday afternoon, we took a break from working to run up and grab my prescriptions because they called and said my doctor had called in some more of my pain medication. So we took a break to go up to the store and grab those, and we figured while we were there we'd get some soda and some other little things we needed around the house. We did a little shopping. And I know I've mentioned somewhere before that the shopping center we typically go to is like a 5-minute drive up the road. But there's a bridge in between that they're working on, so they have it closed off for 6 months. Like, we're so angry because it's like the main road, but you guys, I diverse. So they have it closed off, so you have to go all the way around about to get anywhere, or to get from here to there. So we were going around, and there's this big empty parking lot. It's usually just this big empty parking lot. And it was full of people with tables with stuff on it. And it looked like a flea market or a swap meet, but real small, just like in this big parking lot. I keep saying big and small. Like, it wasn't like a big swap meet, but it was a big, pretty good sized parking lot full of people selling their wares. And it was to our right. We were stopped at a red light, and I was like, oh, Keith, let's go look. We don't even know what we're missing out on. It doesn't hurt to look. I said, look, even if we pull over and we find nothing, we've wasted 10-15 minutes of our day, and at least we stopped and looked. Because if we find nothing, we know there's nothing, but if we drive past and we don't stop, we don't know for sure. So he said, and we didn't have any perishables in the car. I think I used that as part of my argument too. Like, hey, we didn't buy anything that's perishable, so it's okay that it's 100 degrees and we just went to the store and we want to stop. So he pulled off the side street, and all of it was metered parking, and our quarters were back here. Yeah, we usually keep quarters in the car because there's a lot of places in and around Pittsburgh that you need to pay to park. A lot of the newer machines take credit cards. I digress. We have a bag of quarters. It was here, not in the car. I think because we just cleaned out the car. I'm not sure. So he went down one more street, and there was like this one street that had all this parking that wasn't pay, didn't have meters, and there was one spot open, and he didn't even have to parallel. Like, it was the one at the end. He could just pull in. So we did stop. We walked the whole thing. It took us about 10 or 15 minutes to walk the whole thing, and we came out with 2 things. So I'm glad we stopped. We didn't find any home runs or electronics or anything great, but we found stuff that, even though it's going to be really slow, it's going to give us a good return on our investment, and I'm okay with that all day long. Look at this. It is a Woody Woodpecker from, tell me I'm old enough, I need glasses. 1999. So he's not that, excuse me. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, I had a dry throat. So he's not that vintage, but he's still from the 90s. He is Woody Woodpecker. He is also NASCAR. New suit. Flag. Between his flag and my depth perception on this light, you can see it there. And we paid $1 for him. I was okay with that, because $1 for this is going to be a very good return on investment. It's just going to be slow. But you never know, because some of my plushies flip overnight sometimes when they're more popular characters like that. They'll flip overnight or within a few days. So, it's worth the gamble to me. This is a Big Bird decorative nutcracker. Now, the lady had this out on the table, and I didn't realize that she had the original packaging in the box. It was just Big Bird. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get him out of here, y'all. I'm going to have to for photos, right? So she just had him sitting on the table. I thought he was really cute. He had 2 things going for him. Okay, you guys don't need me to watch me struggle. Hold on. So he had 2 things going for him. He's a nutcracker and he's Big Bird, both of which have a following and people that like them and collect them. And I asked her how much she wanted, and she told me $5. I already pretty well knew that I was willing to pay $5 for this. But I said, let me think about it. And I said, I'm going to walk around and I'll come back. Well, when I went to turn out of her little booth area, I happened to glance down into this box she had laying there, and I saw this. Whoop! The styrofoam and the original box. And I thought, I'm already sold, but we'll just walk away and check comps just to be sure. So the fact that she has the original packaging and box was probably the selling point for me, even for $5. One, it raises the value of the item, but two, it makes it easy in shipping. This styrofoam is built exclusively to fit him and keep him safe. See his little puffy shoulders. And his mouth opens. Obviously, he's a nutcracker as well as Big Bird. So we did comp him. And it looks like he goes for anywhere between $40 and $60 from what we could tell. I am probably going to start at $60. I'm going to start on the high end just because I have all the original packaging in the box. And I'll put best offer on it and see what happens. We have a feeling he might sit around for a while and finally go towards Christmas. So that is everything we got this week. Usually I tell you guys we got all this stuff and I have just a handful here I want to share with you. No, everything I've shown you today is everything we sourced over the weekend. This was everything we bought, nothing else. But like I said, we have a definite death pile going on upstairs. We have plenty to work on. And we'll be going to the yard sales on Saturday, and if we need to or need more clothes, we'll go to Goodwill. I did tell you guys I was going to tell you a story real quick. So the second to last house that we went to on Saturday, she had on her little blanket outside laying a classic Minnie Mouse from the Disney store, Raggedy Ann doll in really great condition, another smaller Minnie, and it looked to me from, like, I didn't touch them or pick them up. It looked to me like the smaller Minnie was from Disney Park. They all had hand tags. Their tush tags looked great. They looked good. And then she had a Jelly Belly plushie. He was a yellow jelly bean. He had on a chef's hat. He had on an apron that said Jelly Belly. So I was definitely interested in all four of them. So I asked her how much she wanted for them. And she kind of got an attitude, like, right away with me. And okay, normally, like, y'all think I'm nice on these videos, and that's great. Usually I am nice. 90% of the time, I am a nice person. But sometimes people say something that strikes me wrong or rubs me the wrong way, and I can be very snotty. But Keith even said, and he seemed, you know, shocked, like, no, actually, she was snotty first. Like, he's always surprised when, you know, somebody else was rude first. But, she was like, well, which one? And I was really nice still. I just looked at her and said, well, I would love to have all four of them. What do you want for all of them? I'll take them all off your hands. And she sat there and thought. And it was really uncomfortable. And the silence stretched out. And then she said, $20. And I did what I always do when I don't like the price. I never haggle. This is me. You guys might like to haggle. I'm not really. Sometimes I will. Like, if I really want something, I would have said, will you take 15 or will you take 10 for all four? I kind of like, I guess I kind of like read the person. My throat is so dry, you guys. I kind of like read them. And if it's someone I feel like I can haggle with, I'll answer with, would you take? If it's someone I feel I can't really haggle with, I'll usually just kind of look disappointed and shake my head. And kind of, I'll have to pass. Or no thank you, not today, I'll have to pass. When I do that with the people I feel like aren't going to be willing to haggle, they'll usually go, well, what if I said, or what do you want to pay? And it opens up the doorway for me to haggle. I just kind of read people. And if I feel like haggling with them is going to get their hackles up, I don't. I just kind of act like I don't want it anymore. I'm not interested. And I'll try to walk away and see if they'll call me back. Like, what if I said, or would you take, you know. So this was one of those ladies, because she'd already yelled at me, like, which one do you want? So I just kind of shook my head, and I looked at her, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm going to have to pass today. I turned around, and I started to walk down the sidewalk. She came after me, y'all. She came down the sidewalk after me, yelling at me. These are vintage, and I want $5 a piece, and this might be a yard sale, but don't you think you're going to get my stuff for $1 a piece? And I just kept walking. She followed me pretty far, like 3 houses. She followed me like down the sidewalk past at least 3 houses, continuing to yell at me about how her plushies were vintage, and she wanted $5 each, and getting them for $20 for all 4 was a good deal, and she doesn't care if it is a yard sale. I'm not getting them for $1. I never offered her $1. Like I said, I just told her, no, thank you, I'll have to pass. And she got defensive and aggressive and followed me down the sidewalk to lecture me about why she wanted the $5 a piece. And I'm just thinking, oh, if you want that much for them, sell them on eBay. You've got them on the ground on a blanket at a yard sale. Like, come on, lady. And then about 5 minutes later, it started to pour down rain, and we were in our car. And we drove past her house, and she's struggling and rushing. Hold on. Okay, sorry. She's scrambling. That is the word I wanted. She's scrambling, trying to get all of her stuff inside. And part of me wanted Keith to pull over so I could ask her, do you still want 20 for them? Because I'll give you like 5 if you want me just to take them. So you have to worry about them getting wet and getting them inside. But I thought that that would probably offend her. So we just drove past, and I have to admit, I snarkily said to Keith, well, I hope she enjoys her soaking wet plush, because nobody's going to buy them for that price at a yard sale. Which was mean of me to think, but she was mean to me. She stalked me on the sidewalk and yelled at me. And then it started to rain. You want to talk about karma? Alright guys, I have taken up enough of your time, so let me know in the comments below what you think of our little mini haul, and let me know what you guys have been finding while you're out yard selling. And do you guys have a death pile? Because I have a death pile. I've never had a death pile till now, but now I do. Do you guys have them? Just let me know down below in the comments, whatever you want to say. If you would smash the like button, that would be appreciated. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night.